Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a news review video. We'll have a bit of a chat about some of the main stories that have broken in the Spanish press over the last week or so. Some of the main stories that have caught my attention at least, and some of the main stories that you guys have commented on over the last week or so. Now, the first one related to the drought issues in Spain. We saw the other day that it is a very costly drought for the Spanish government. In fact, one of the most costly disasters in the world in 2023, according to the piece of news that we saw. Drought affecting places like Catalonia, affecting places like Malaga as well, and the Spanish government scrambling to come up with solutions to try to fix these drought issues. It's been a problem in Spain now for a while. Over the last few years in different parts of the country there have been drought issues. Even in the north of Spain last year or the year before, I think there were drought issues. In Galicia things got fairly dry, but fortunately it has rained since then, rained quite a lot, and the water issues in Galicia and the north of Spain not really a problem anymore. There's also been a lot of debate in the comment section on the videos in recent times about this drought issue, how to fix it. Some people saying that desalination plants are the way to go. In fact, I know that the government in Andalusia is investing heavily in desalination plants to try to solve the problem, or at least alleviate the problem, and the central government too trying to work out what to do. A lot of people have mentioned, why don't they bring water from the north of the country down to the south? But apparently from an engineering point of view, it is not that easy to do. So that's obviously one of the reasons why they don't do it. And as I mentioned the other day, politically that is also very tricky because of Spain's autonomous community system. 17 autonomous governments and 17 different autonomous governments, often different political parties that is. And as I also said the other day, quite often these political parties don't agree on simple things. So it's not easy to send water from one part of the country to another, because some people that are fortunate to have water in abundance in Spain don't want to share it, especially if they don't think that that water is going to go to good use, and that is an issue. Another piece of news that caught my attention over the last week or so related to the anti-crisis measures that the government said are going to be extended for the next 6 months at least. We know that in 2023, because of high inflation, the government brought in various measures when it comes to energy costs, supermarket costs, and transport costs. For example, public transport fares were reduced. The public transport that the central government controls, for example, the rail network. Also at an autonomous community level, various autonomous community governments also reduced fares on public transport, for example in Madrid on the metro system, on the bus system, and different parts of the country also did this. But the central government has said, as I mentioned, they're going to extend some of these measures for the next 6 months. And an interesting comment the other day from Yolanda Díaz, who said that many people in Spain can't afford to do their shopping anymore, food shopping, because it is very, very expensive. So she wants even more measures brought in to try to bring down the cost of the average shopping basket. She said that the measures currently in place are not enough and more needs to be done. Not sure exactly what she's planning on doing. There was some talk last year about having a state-run supermarket, trying to bring food prices down that way, but that didn't prove to be too popular with some parts of the government. But I'm sure Yolanda Díaz, given her background, her far-left background, would like a state-run supermarket. Not sure exactly how a state-run supermarket would work, but I imagine that there are other countries in the world that have something similar in place, so maybe the government could get ideas from them. So let me know what you think. What else can the government do to bring supermarket prices down? Let me know in that comment section below. And the final piece of news that caught my attention over the last week or so related to Spain's nuclear energy program, which is in the process of being wound down from 2027 through to 2035. They're going to wind the whole thing down, and Spain is going to put an end to nuclear energy. As we know, nuclear energy in Spain has had its ups and downs over the last 50 years or so. Back in the late 60s, early 70s, the country was betting on nuclear energy to go forward, but things changed in the early 1980s when the PSOE party was elected, a left-wing political party, and they decided that nuclear was not the future. And the current Spanish government, also the PSOE party led by Pedro Sánchez, announced some 4 years ago, maybe 5, that they were going to wind down Spain's nuclear program, as I said, gradually from 2027 to 2035. So Spain betting on renewables. And there was a lot of mixed comments in the comment section after that video the other day. A lot of people in favour of nuclear power, a lot of people against nuclear power, so there was a real debate going on. So thanks guys for sharing your opinion in that comment section. Now, keeping on the subject of comments, we'll have a look at some comments that have been left on the channel recently. One here from Maria. Spain's property market is heading towards the great Titanic plunge. How can you have property owners living in fear of home invasions and then expect them to pay for squatters' utilities? A squatter-riddled mess and a living nightmare for property owners. Time for a new government. Yeah, Maria, thanks for the comment. Fairly clear that you don't like the current Spanish government, the current Sánchez coalition government, of course, with Sumar, and saying that Spain is a squatter-riddled mess. Now, we saw the other day that squatting in Spain is down statistically because the current government brought in policies back in 2021 to deal with the issue. The only autonomous community, according to the article that we saw the other day, that still has a squatter issue is Catalonia, because other autonomous communities, the issue of squatters is improving. And is Spain's property market heading towards the great Titanic plunge, as you say in this comment? I don't know. Time will tell. Another one here from Navigator. Vox is not far right. That's how only media portrays it. But in truth, it's centre right. Yeah, Navigator, thanks for the comment. But I'm fairly sure that Vox is on the far right side of politics in Spain. And the centre right that you mentioned in your comment there is controlled by the Partido Popular. And you only have to read some of Vox's policies or listen to some of the comments made by Vox's leaders to realise that they are on the far right side of politics in Spain. One here from Vanessa. I must admit you look better in Australia. Yeah, Vanessa, thanks for the comment, and with views like this and weather like this, it's no wonder that I look better here. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I do not like the winters in Madrid. Far too cold for me, and I love to be able to get away and come to a place like this and spend a few weeks in the summer months. So I imagine that's why I look better down here than in Spain. One here from Michael. The other main reason why bars are closing, not just in Spain but all over Europe, is the availability of cheap alcohol at supermarkets. For example, Lidl sells an excellent range of German craft beers at 99 cents, half a litre can. Aldi sometimes sells San Miguel at even lower prices. Great quality wine is still sold in supermarkets across Iberia at amazingly low prices. So who's going to leave one's warm, cosy house and go out to a bar to pay higher prices and be told no smoking? Soon to be banned outside. Yeah, Michael, thanks for the comment, and related to an article that we saw the other day about how bars are disappearing in Spain. The number of bars in Spain is down on 2010 figures. According to an expert, that's because of the crisis back in 2010, 11 and 12 caused a lot of bars to close, and also COVID with all of the restrictions caused lots of bars to close. When it comes to alcohol in supermarkets in Spain, it's always been cheap. People have always had the option of cheap alcohol in supermarkets. You can pick up a can of beer for 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. Premium beer for less than €1, and wine and spirits are also cheap. So I don't think that has much of an influence on bars closing in Spain. And another thing is that people in Spain like to socialise in bars. They like to get out, meet their friends in bars, not necessarily in their homes. Maybe some people are buying alcohol at the supermarket and only drinking at home, but I reckon most people still like to socialise in bars. And the economy and the problems that it has had in Spain over the last 15 years is the reason why bars are closing. On that note, I'll wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. If you have an opinion on anything that I have spoken about today, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego from this fantastic location.